Hi everyone, it's Killshot99 Gaming's Fear the Walking Dead, Season 5, Episode 2, live fan reactions. I want to thank all of you for staying up and getting involved in this video tonight. I know a lot of people had seen this and gave it 8.5, so before we get too far into this video, we are going to get you to re-rate it, but I do want to say a super special shout out to all the patrons. You can see them up on the screen. Thank you so much for everything that you guys do to help support the channel, and it's a lot of June and John tonight. We are back, and it's getting closer. I started out, I went with the flow with everybody when they said 8. I'm actually going to go ahead and put your numbers up there. I'm going to rate it lower. Tonight was probably 7. To me, it was worst episode of Fear the Walking Dead since season 4. Or since season 3, sorry. I thought season 4 was great. I loved last week, the premiere. Tonight, to me, there were moments that I thought they were doing well, but it felt like season 3 of Fear the Walking Dead. They're adding too much story to it, and it reminded me a little bit of the, we haven't gotten. We introduced Grace, we introduced Strand, we still don't know what's going on with Logan, we don't know what's going on with Althea. So they're dragging it along, and I feel like they're going to have to, get some closure to it in a hurry. And, it's typical. I want a person to join. Am I alone in this? I want them to meet up with somebody, and they're like, oh, hell yeah, I'm tired of driving this truck around by myself and looking for radioactive people. I'd love to join you. You got food? Where do I sign up? Yeah, they're pushing the limits again. I agree. I like to fish. Too many storylines. Look, we know Daniel's going to be a part of it, but look at kind of what went down today. We met Grace. Grace leaves. We go all the way over. We got videos. We send Strand out. He meets Daniel. They talk. If Daniel wasn't going to help him, why even let him use the radio? It's like, okay, I believe you now. You're not a liar. But leave. Big waste of time. And I'm sure it's set up for something. We got Will the Bill, Super Chat, that says, Kills coin for Wednesday. What are the black circular pipes on top of the truck for? 10 seconds. I don't know. It's a good question. Something to do with the decontamination, I guess. I mean, she's a scientist. She's got her own little truck. I thought they were solar panels when I first saw them, like some weird sort of solar panel, but yeah, no idea. Tom Ferrer says they better watch out for the tank from Left 4 Dead. I mean, we're going to have to get a radiation expert in here. Let me say this, though. We have not seen the end of Grace. And because she is a scientist, I think she could learn to be a doctor. So, Will, I'm thinking today's episode just made June a little bit more expendable. I mean, she's probably got some minor in medicine. June dies. Grace becomes the next person that sort of transitions over to the medical field. So, Will the Bill, the question I'd have is, do you feel better about your bet at this point? I felt like it's just it's getting closer and closer. The June story is wearing itself out. I'm going to go through a couple of my notes. We'll do a different recap. So, I have not seen anything significant with Strand next week. I'm sure it's going to be out in a little bit. But when Strand threw down the brick and is walking toward the walker, that seems a little bit reckless, doesn't it? I mean, why didn't he keep the brick in his hand to kill the next walker? He almost threw it down like, you know what, I'm just going to die. I'm not saying Strand's going to end himself, but it just, didn't it kind of give you a little bit of that vibe like, whatever. And then, you know, what he's going to do, he's going to have some change of heart at the last minute. Or he'll just turn around and run. I think he'll throw down the brick. He'll walk along like, yeah, I'm just going to end it. And then he's going to turn around and start beating on the fence like, let me in, let me in. Well, there's certainly clues. The problem is there's so many things going on and so many stories. I think Fear the Walking Dead, I think they're outsmarting themselves. Because there's probably some clue, like Will the Bill was saying, there's probably some clue with all the equipment and everything they have on that truck. There's some clue on those necklaces. I think, what were they called? Dosimetrics? The dosimetrics necklaces that they're wearing. There's some clue in that. And it all means something of why they take Rick and the type of person that they need. But I don't get it. It's certainly over my pay grade. Now, if we had some nuclear biologist in the stream, any of you nuclear physicist or nuclear biologist or something, maybe you might understand what they're trying to do. But I don't get it. And am I the only one that had a problem with Alicia not being able to see the big bubbly-headed guy and wondering which one was the infected one because his necklace fell off? You could see the bubbles in that dude's head from like a quarter mile away. So she's panicking. Like, oh my God, which one is it? I can't see it. I can't see it. Well, we can see it. And the camera was further back than she was. Yeah, that was some, I agree, Ellis. That was some silly drama. It did remind me of season 3. I think this was a setback. Princess Pie. It's a good episode. There's so much things to talk about. First of all, my bold prediction, one of June or John or both get too close. The ashes get radiation infected like Grace. They will be dying. Well, wait. Hold on a second. Stop for a second. So, Princess Pie, what you're saying is that you think that John and June are both going to die. That's what you're saying. Because last week, you said that they're not dying, and you agreed with Will the Bill. So we got to pick a side here. I'm okay with your bold prediction. I'm good with it. So let me say this. If they go through, am I the only person here that's going to say, if they go through all this trouble with the radiation and somebody doesn't get infected and die from radiation, it was a big waste of an arc or big waste of a story? Can we agree on that? Like, if we get to episode 6 and they're doing something cute and different and off the wall, And then I'm going to bring up and say, wait a minute, what happened to the radiation 4 episodes ago? All right, and Ellis Smith, you said this a moment ago, like some overacting. There were 3 scenes in tonight's episode, actually 4. This is why I lowered my score. There were 4 things that happened that just completely didn't make sense. All right, one, and let me say this, first and foremost, those of you tuning in, we're going to be a little critical tonight. I do have to warn you, I love Fear the Walking Dead. I will be here next week. We'll be talking about it all week. However, this was not a good episode. And I'm going to give you 4 reasons why this was not a good episode. All right, number 1 was Alicia freaking out, not being able to see. First of all, she wanted to give Grace her gun back. I had a problem with that. Second of all, this happened quickly, and if you didn't get a chance to notice it the first time, go back and watch it. So Grace is on the walkie-talkie with John. So John and June get there early, and there were the ashes. And I don't know if you noticed John's body language when Grace said, "Don't touch anything." And then he put both arms out like he was windsurfing. Did anybody catch that? Like, what kind of cheesy reaction was that? Don't touch anything, and all of a sudden it's like all he had to do was keep his arms where they were and walk away, or just walk 10 yards to the left. But he acted like something was going to jump out of the woods at him all of a sudden, like, "Don't touch it." "Oh, okay, I'm going to freeze right here." All right, so I had a problem with that. I thought that was overacting as well. And almost every scene had it. The next thing, Luciana says, "I get it, she's on medication, but you hear something fall," and she walks outside. She goes, "Is anyone there?" Well, first of all, if it's somebody, nobody was there. But if it was somebody that wanted you to find them, well, they would have waited at the door. They wouldn't knock on the door and run. So when you say something like that, it's probably somebody that wants to kill you. Yeah, just if that ever happens to you, don't open the door, walk halfway out there and say, "Is anybody out there?" You lock the door. You go up the stairs, you find like a peephole and see if you can see something. So that was number 3. And then number 4 was Daniel going through all the trouble to let Victor use the radio, get in touch with people, help him contact, and then say, "Nope, I'm not going to let you help him." Then why didn't you just kick me out to begin with? Why didn't you say that while it was still daylight, so I could be home by now? So all 4 of those things. I'm sure there were others. I mean, I have to think of the other scenes that were out there. Okay, I'll add a 5th. Was there anybody here that all right, I'll get to that 1 second. Will the Bill, Princess Pie, says pipes are for the hot water. I built one for my pool. Sun heats pipes. As water circulates, it heats water. Kills coin. Very nice. So that way Morgan doesn't have to take a cold shower, I'm assuming, Will the Bill. Very nice. A warm shower. Speaking of Morgan, was there anybody moved by Morgan's conversation with Alicia? I don't have an exact count, but could we safely say that Morgan and Alicia have had these sit-down heart-to-hearts at least 4 times. I don't remember all of them, but there's been a lot of times when, it's I used to kill people, and I'm not that person anymore. So I thought it was lazy dialogue tonight. I really did. This is a bridge episode, and next week they need to nail it. They need to nail it really, really good. It just wasn't good. I mean, at some point, Alicia, you just got to stop being silly. And Morgan, if she wants to go out and be crazy and kill people, let her go out and kill people. I don't know. He lost me with the opening up the door thing. And here's my question. I got a very real question for you. Would any of you take psychological advice from the Joker, from someone that has just been released from Arkham Asylum? Okay. What in the hell makes Morgan the authority on giving psychological advice? Morgan has went off the deep end more times than anybody in the history of The Walking Dead. There's probably been 4 times. And most recently, last season, Morgan was losing his mind again. He had Sharpie Lady. He was losing it. And now, suddenly, he's the authority on giving Alicia emotional advice on what she needs to do? Until when? Until Morgan freaks out again? Well, I get it, Daryl. He doesn't want Alicia to do the same thing. But how do we know Morgan's not going to do the same thing? And he says it as if he's cured. And I don't think he's cured. Will the Bill says, Morgan is talking to Alicia like Rick. Think back. Alicia will be the Rick of fear. Put it on the books. I don't have a problem with there being the Rick of fear. A strong Rick. So Walani says kill's good advice. Well, I'm not saying it was bad advice. But I'm pretty sure it's the same advice that she's gotten multiple times. And I don't blame Alicia. I don't blame Morgan. It goes back to kind of, what I said. I think it's a story that we don't need to see again. Alicia, open the door. Be a leader. Stop killing everything. You can do other things well besides killing things. It's the next stage of evolution for Alicia. I get it, but I thought they had her in a good place. Well, see, this is the thing. Well, I agree. Well, she apparently hasn't let it sink in yet. No doubt about it. But it's because the writers won't let it sink in. The writers have taken us backwards in the Alicia character to fill in the blanks to push us forward. So we had Alicia, we had her in a good spot, and now we make her weak, helpless Alicia. She can't see which walker is contaminated. She's overly hell-bent on killing everything. she had a good balance. Now she's losing her mind. Then a crazy person tells her she doesn't have to be crazy. She can do a little bit more. I see that I don't need. And I think I have a problem with the way today was written. There's a lot of cool stuff I think they could have done without regressing. And they regressed Alicia's character only to get her back to where she was. See, Fearless Fetal, that's a good point. Will the Bill says she's going to be Rick. Fearless says she's going to be Morgan. And I agree with both of you. That's the problem. I don't know what she's going to be. So, when we get it, 9 episodes out of 10, we are here just raving about Fear the Walking Dead and how the show's gotten better and it's turned the corner. And I know I don't put a lot of weight on ratings, but tonight is not only going to be a poor showing, it's going to be poor feedback. The people that normally support the show are not going to like it, and the ratings are going to be low. This is going to be 4 things. And I want Fear the Walking Dead to do phenomenal. I want the whole franchise to do great because I'm a fan, and you guys are fans. But this episode did not do it. Especially after a pretty good premiere. So, Alicia the Dead says, you're so wrong. Wait, what was good about the episode? Alicia, I mean, I'm certainly open-minded to it. And I'm not wrong because I'm stating my opinion. And it could certainly be good for you. But I'm just curious, like, what part of the episode specifically were you like, yes, so good, loved it? I mean, maybe you can change my mind. There was literally nothing. The highlight was, Grace, maybe, but I would give Grace the benefit of the doubt introducing a new character. And look, I'm sure there's going to be some convenient meeting up somewhere. I think Daniel said it best. It's a small world. Let them help you, Grace. Let them help you find the other 30-something and put them to rest. You don't have to go out on your own and be a lone wolf. Yeah, I mean, Dark Star, I'll give you that. We learned there's radioactive walkers. You know what, Dark Star, you know what we also learned? We learned that the person with the equipment and the suit is leaving, and now we don't know which ones are radioactive and which ones aren't. Or which... Does anybody else have a problem with this? How about Grace saying, hey, you know what? You guys don't have these cool suits. Here. Take the little crackling machine, and that way, if you get close to a walker, then you save yourself. But she's gone. So now that we've learned there's radioactive walkers, one would have to think that our group is like, well, they're doubly screwed. Yeah, but Ellis, they're not going to move to the other side of Texas. Because maybe, I don't know, maybe they want to get infected. Maybe they want to stay and fight Logan. They lost their weapons. They lost their stronghold. They lost Althea. And now there's radioactive walkers. Thank God Dwight is coming around the corner with his axe, because now, I mean, hell, they're going to see Dwight's face and they're going to think he's a radioactive walker. I'm doubly scared for Dwight. Dwight better duck. They're going to be shooting at him. Hey, the nice thing about week to week is they get a chance at redemption. And I do think they'll bring it back. I love the show. I love the franchise. I can't remember the last time, certainly not in the last season, did they have back-to-back shows that were bad. And I'm not going to try to tell you what to think. Certainly, please, if you like tonight's episode, state your case. You know, I'm going to think about it. I'm just trying to find something that, you know, Morgan lost his stick, took off his ring, took a shower. There was some story to it. It just... I think when the writers wrote this, and I know Andrew and Ian last week, they were very excited. They said on Talking Dead, we're going to introduce a new type of walker, and I think they were so excited about the radioactive walker that they made this whole episode about that. And other than that, I just didn't see... There's a lot of silly decision making. I mean, I won't even get into the fact that, I mean, Alicia could have moved. She could have moved to the left and right. She didn't have to back herself up against the one small barrier that was behind her. The cat was cool. I mean, skid mark. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna raise it. I'm gonna give it 7.1 because of skid mark. Will the Bill says, this whole episode was about where Alicia is going. And Will, I think that's the problem, is none of us can decide where Alicia is going. Now, I'm not, look, the show's over. We've watched it. It's not like we're telling people not to go watch Dark Phoenix because it sucked. Everybody in this stream, we have an opinion. We've watched it. We're not costing them any ratings. Nobody's boycotting the show and not going to watch next week. But I certainly think that it's fair to express criticism. So, yeah, I did. So, William, previous super chat. Morgan's going to change her story like he did Rick. She will get worse before she turns to become a leader with Morgan in his ear. Episode wasn't great. So, I agree. I don't disagree. You and Walani, very similar concept. What kind of my point is, and I understand, I get it. I understand why they did it. I don't like that they did it. That's my frustration. I don't like that they have to take a character backwards. That she's already... Will, here's the thing. She was already close enough to taking a couple more steps to being like Rick, to being the leader that the group needs. And I'm cool with her being the leader. I don't need her to go back and show her immature and helplessness and lack of being able to do the job again to build her up again. I've already went through that with Alicia. In fact, I've already went through it 3 times with Alicia. I don't need to go through it a 4th time with her. And who knows? Are we going to do this again? So let me ask the group this question. Is the 4th time a charm with Alicia, or somewhere along the way, are they going to write the same thing in with a different person? Are we going to see John Dory sitting down talking to Alicia, giving her advice? Or are we going to see Dwight? Are we going to see Dwight giving Alicia advice in 6 episodes or next season? Like, hey, Alicia, I know you didn't believe it when Travis told you, or when Madison told you, or when Nick told you, or when Strand told you, or when Morgan told you, but I'm Dwight. And this is the 6th time that you got to grow up. You got to become a leader. So, yeah, just stop. Just stop with it. They could have saved that speech, and we could have seen 2 more minutes of skid mark. Because who doesn't like cats? So, yeah, I would have rather seen something cool. Like that movie about the cat with the gold necklace. So, or we could have seen a little bit more of Logan. And I think that's a little bit of it. I won't say it's frustration. I'd say, because I'm not frustrated with it, I'm a little disappointed. So, how many different storylines now do we have hanging? So, instead of breaking Alicia down and rebuilding her, why not show us some of Logan? Well, I'll tell you why. Because they want us to wait till next. It's almost like they think we're going to be talking about it all week. Well, because we are. But we're different, right? We're a forum. We're a fan group. We talk about it. But I think they think that there's going to be a lot of people at lunch and at the water cooler saying, hey, you think that, what do you think about this Logan group? You think there's more of them? You think they got a master plan? You think they're just going to leave? You think they just introduced them and they're gone? So why not take that 2-minute speech and show us Logan? Show us his people. Show us the fact that, they do have weapons, and get to know a couple of their characters and who his lieutenants are and some of those things. But what they're going to do is they're going to make it some big epic coincidence that they all meet up again. So it's going to be, they're going to find Althea. That's going to be coincidental. They just met Grace. They happened to meet Grace in the exact place where they were looking for Althea. That's coincidental. Daniel happens to be there. That's coincidental. So that's why I said it feels like season 3 to me again. Like everybody's just, it's like this magnet that keeps bringing them back. It's not radioactivity. It's like a big-ass magnet that keeps pulling people back to El Paso, Texas. We got Will the Bill. I can't wait to talk to you about Nick and Norman's about this stream. Suit Lady was a warning. Our guys are just fine, including June. Nah. Will, two things happened tonight. One was I did like the jump scare that June got. I was hoping she'd have a heart attack there. And that didn't happen. So the second thing was, June's got some radioactivity. The only thing that I'm hoping is that it's fast moving. I hope it doesn't wait till season 6. Knowing my luck, Will, it's going to be like this long, drawn-out death for June. Dark Star, I disagree. I honestly think this episode was worse than any episode last season, including the premiere of the season. This was the worst episode that I've seen since season 3, the episode with the dam. I don't think last season, when we did our reactions, I don't think we had a single episode that, by and large, that our audience rated below an 8. And if you guys missed it, this is not just me talking. I'm going to ask the group again. So if you guys got to the stream late, right now, after we've talked about it, we've dissected, we went over, from a 1 to a 10, right now. And my rating was high compared to the Army. You guys do me a favor right now. From a 1 to a 10, give me the rating of this episode. Send a message out there. And believe me, I'm not a proponent. I'm not going to say stop watching it. Come on. We're not silly little kids. We like the show. 3.2, 6, 5, 6.5, 4, 1, 6.7, 4, 7.7, 8, 7, 6.8, 5, 1, 7, 5. I mean, these are not made up numbers. So, I mean, certainly there's fandom. And Julia, I'm not gonna go. I said a 7. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen on television. I just thought that Fear was really ramping up and they were doing some good things. Will the Bill even gives it a 5.5. But, you know, to those of you that liked it, that gave it a 9 or 8.5, that's certainly fine. But you're certainly in the minority because most people thought it was bad. But next week will be better. We hope. I mean, I hope this isn't the course of the show because if they write every show like this and it's very choppy, it's not going to be a good season. The premiere was great. Had some good Easter eggs tonight. The concept of the radioactive walker was good. The choppiness of the story and the dialogue I thought was bad. Will the Bill just killed Daniel. Jeez. Is it possible that Daniel has a change of heart? You know, Strand killed that walker, threw down the brick. Is it possible that maybe Strand's walking toward that walker and Daniel saves him? I mean, they can't just let Daniel appear and then close the door and not do anything. I mean, yeah. All right. Now, see, that's the deal, okay? If Daniel helps and has a change of heart, saves Strand's life, I would probably bump it up a little bit more. I just didn't like that he brought him there, they had a conversation, and just kicked him out. It just... I agree. I agree with that, Jules. That Morgan episode, Tabitha the Goat, no doubt. That was hard for me to watch. Same thing, though. Some people like the Morgan episode. I absolutely hated it. So, Ron O'Corin, I didn't give it that low, but Ron, very good comment. As a standalone, wasn't very good. I gave it a 3.5. Curious to see what it sets for future storylines. That's why I gave it a 7. I didn't give it as low a score as many of you did, and I was kind of taking some of that in consideration because I know Grace is going to be back. I know that Daniel's going to be back, but it just seems like one of the two would have helped, would have been some kind of help. Now, in the overall scheme of things, and some of you are going to see this is, okay, I got a question. and please, take this extremely lighthearted. We're going to have some fun with this. If someone can tell me what the ultimate coincidence was, I'm thinking of one thing that is so far out in left field, unbelievable in tonight's episode, and it got completely disguised. It is the most coincidental thing in the history of The Walking Dead, bar none. And if you can tell me what that was, and it was in tonight's episode, because when you're in the flow of the show, it seems cool and it makes sense. Not the accordion comment. Not the tar pit, although it was. Not the heads. See, it's so blatantly obvious that almost everybody in his stream is going to miss it. And then when I say it, the radio tower with no wind, nope, that's not it. Not Morgan removing his ring. Not a car with gas. Exactly. Roxanne Dunlap, please everybody, give her 2 kills coins. That is exactly it. If there was not a lady in a suit with a decontamination truck, Morgan would have died of radioactivity. Seriously. So the whole time we're here thinking like, oh, a new walker was introduced. No. If that lady did not happen to be there, Morgan would be dead. And I know some fans are going to say, oh, Morgan's... No. What are the odds? What are the odds at the exact moment someone gets contaminated that there's a truck waiting for you to decontaminate you? That would be like if someone's house caught on fire and there happened to be a fire truck just parked out in front of their house. Or, I don't know, I could give you 1,000 examples. Aisha, I don't care what she was doing. It's the fact that she was there. In the Walking Dead universe, there's a lady who knows about radiation at the exact time the hero of the show is contaminated with radioactive activity. Unbelievable. And it just got eaten and digested by all of us because we're Walking Dead fans. It was, I haven't used this in a long time. It was Fear the Walking Dead coincidental. And last season, what they were able to do was they had these coincidences that were so funny and lighthearted. Today it wasn't funny and lighthearted. It was a serious part of the storyline. Loved it. But, hey, if it turns into a bigger story, it's going to become a fun topic. It's going to be like, we're kind of all on edge. We want to know, hey, how did Dwight get here? But we got Daniel just shows up. Dwight shows up. A radioactive decontamination truck shows up. We got all kind of cool stuff happening. Stimpy Girl says, you're really picking the episode apart. Did you like anything about it? Not a lot. Not a lot as a standalone episode. They're going to make the story work. But it was weak. It was weak tonight. And I think you can look at it like Mark Jacob. Why does Lady have to kill contaminated walkers? Well, the story was weak. Do you know why, Mark? Because she said she had to do it because she couldn't do anything for them then. So now she has this burden of putting them all to rest because she wasn't there for them when she needed to be. It's played out. It's a tired plot. It's been used. And Danny Grace, that is exactly the issue that I had with today's episode. Is now we've got 10 different plots and a time jump we got to figure out, and we probably get Dwight next week, so it's going to add to the equation. I love Marcia Derbyshire's like, this has to be a Gimple episode. So, yeah, when it's bad, everybody blames Scott Gimple. Well, I mean, Stimpy Girl, would you rather talk for an hour about how good it was when it wasn't good? I mean, it's a reaction video. It's not a let's pretend we saw something that we didn't see video. I mean, it's the same thing that we do with predictions and spoilers are the same thing we're going to do with reactions. And it doesn't change my belief in the show. It doesn't. I mean, I could say this to you guys 5,000 times. There were parts of the show that were worthy of talking about, even though they weren't great. Will the Bill. It wasn't weak. It was slow. Missed my other super chat. Sorry, Bill. I missed your super chat. I was busy trying to get some of the comments in the video that I didn't shoot down. Let me see. The other super chat was, I don't like Morgan that much, but he's here to push characters the same way he did The Walking Dead. He's creating the group and its leaders. I don't disagree. Look, before you guys kind of get in a shouting match, let me explain a couple things. One, I very rarely criticize The Walking Dead. Here's the problem. And if you want to do comparative research and see the amount of times other people do, comparatively speaking, feel free. But when I criticize the show, it's all in good fun. I would never criticize the show and tell you to not watch it. All right, that's first and foremost. Number two, it doesn't seem, because I'm so positive on the show, anytime I do a critique or a rant, there's always like this grip, like, no, you can't disagree with it. No, but I can, because I'm very objective when it comes to the show. And I like continuity, and I like flow, and I like the characters. But I don't always like the writing. And you may say, hey, regardless, I love the show start to finish, and I'm still going to watch it. And I'm still going to appreciate it. And they need to come back big time next week. Because this is a small sample size. But if they make it choppy on a week-to-week basis, yeah, this is what our reaction videos are going to be like every week. And nobody wants to do a reaction video every week to where you're saying, well, it could have been better, and they should have did this, and they should have did that. But that's not really our job. That's their job. It's their job to write an engaging and a captivating story that makes us want to get here and talk about how good the show was. If the show would have been a slam dunk, I would not be here nitpicking some of the storylines that are open-ended. And to say that I do that would scream to me that you don't watch all of the streams. Because if you do, and you really wholeheartedly pay attention to all the playbacks and all of the videos, then I think people will get a good grasp of my feeling of the show and where I come from on the show. I'm not going to beat that to death, but point made. Ecom, I think Dwight and Alicia could make a good duo. I agree with that, Ecom. In fact, that was my bold prediction. I'm going to say that's going to be Alicia's next relationship. I think they're not only a duo, I think they'll be a better John and June than John and June. What do you guys think? Beal's like, I'm not sure on that one. That's okay. It's a bold prediction. I'm not taking any side bets on that one. Nick Jones like, no way. No way, dude. Alicia's too hot for Dwight. Gene Alexander says definitely. And if you think Alicia's too hot for Dwight, I would disagree. Dwight likes hot things like irons. Too soon? Too soon? All right, Will the Bill. What was the combination lock code on the gate for last week's episode? That's a good question. Really? I didn't see it. All right. Hey, the sidebars. You guys keep it cordial. We can disagree on the direction of the show. Not everything is going to be a party celebrating the great episode of The Walking Dead. And you know what? Tomorrow night we'll probably recap it too. And there may be some other things. Just there's more action in this stream tonight than there was on Fear the Walking Dead. Will the Bill, I'm going to go with 999. All right, you guys let it go. Really, people are reading this stuff. So seriously, if we can't engage with each other in a cordial way, then we're just going to time a couple people out. So it's over. Stop it. Move on. Talk about The Walking Dead. Just move on from the sidebars. Not a right or wrong. It's not who said this. Just drop it. Just move on. Steph, just start deleting comments. It's not constructive. I'm not here to referee. So what about Crazy Lucy? Yeah. Well, they set that up too with the drugs. It's so every bad decision she made, we could blame on the drugs. That's why she said accordion 3 times. She was certainly high, and then, and I think that was supposed to cushion the blow a little bit and kind of keep us from asking that question. Why did she go outside? Oh, she was on drugs. Why was she looking for people? She was on drugs. Why couldn't she shoot straight? Somebody asked me if I liked anything. I did like the first person's perspective of her shooting like Rick Grimes. That was good. Crystal's already a step ahead. Yeah, we'll do a June John. Well, I agree, Ellis. That's a good point. I ask again. The kid group may be a lot more about them than we know yet. Yeah, it'd been nice to get into a little bit of that story. So I even forgot about that. I didn't add that to the list. So in 2 weeks, we just got a lot of unanswered questions. And I just don't think you can go 3, 4, 5 weeks and keep adding to the plot. That's what The Walking Dead did in season 7, 8, Oceanside, 8, 7, all right, whatever, with the Oceanside. And then you had the Kingdom and the Oceanside, and it just got, there was a lot that went into it. And, yeah, we just don't want to be in that. Daryl says, Kills, I think the CRM name for the helicopter group is going to stand for Collective Resource Materials. Your thoughts? Maybe. Yeah. Daryl, it's just hard. It's hard to focus on that story. I want to predict it, and I want to kind of dig down to it. But I just feel like there's some information they're just going to have to give to us because it's going to be overwhelming. What's up with the kids? Where did the kids go? Are the kids a part of the bigger picture? Why did Logan let them go? Is Logan going to be a bad guy? Is he? He's got to be a bad guy. But is he going to be a really, really bad guy or just a slightly bad guy? Why? What's going on with the radioactive stuff? How do they get in there? They don't even have a suit. But obviously somebody's got some radioactive stuff. But the one lady that is out there looking for radioactive people, she just left with all the equipment. So, why did Daniel kick Strand out? Yeah, just a lot to think about. I need next week. Yeah, we didn't even get to, who's cutting the heads off. And it is, Crystal. So, but you know what? With that being said, I think we got a good gist of the reaction. I think for the most part, the reaction was a little bit disappointed. You know, we took two different scoring systems, and there just wasn't a lot positive that people, and Ecom, that's got to be what's happening, right? Tonight's episode was slow, but I think the groundwork they're laying could be better than last season. Need to pull it together for a mid-season finale. Very possible. But this was a big episode. So we give them one, right? I mean, we had a great premiere. And then we get one where, yeah, there's a lot more to it. And then we come back for episode number 3, and I'm sure they're going to, they're going to knock it out of the park. So let's do this. Let's let everybody take a little bit of time, go watch the playback of it, see if there's anything that we missed. We'll dissect it a little bit more tomorrow night. I don't think scores are going to double or triple. I think this is just kind of, it's an episode we got to live with, and we got to hope, as Ecom said and a couple other people said, hopefully that the groundwork is something that we're going to go back and look at this and it's like, wow. And the radioactive walkers could be a part of that possibility. But I'm going to go back to my previous comment. If somebody is not infected, it's going to be shocking, right? Because, they've had interaction with the plane crash and all these walkers in that area. You would think almost all of them would be infected. But at a minimum, I think somebody's got to die from that, or, maybe we kind of forget about it for 2 or 3 episodes, and then we see June start coughing. What's wrong? I'm just a little tired. And then all of a sudden, yeah, she's gone. And then I win my bet, and then everybody's happy. So we'll see. All right, hey everybody, we're over an hour. Time flew. Thank you for a very passionate back and forth. We'll do a little bit better next time. Tomorrow night, let's make sure that we're here. We're ready to talk about the show a little bit, and, we give it our best behavior. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate everybody being here. Thanks to the Patreons. Thanks for the Green Team, the 999 Army, all of you that are here. Super Chatters, do me a favor. We got about 2 more minutes. Hit the like button, and everybody here, just give me a quick 999 in chat. I want to give as many shout-outs we possibly can for keeping this group respectful, committed, passionate. One thing that we're always going to be, we're going to care about the show. And don't forget that we're fans. We're not here to dog the show or to make it look bad. But sometimes you got to call it the way you see it. Logan 5, thanks for being here. Samantha Coombs, Daryl Stoltz, Matt Burkett, Ellis Smith Jr., Lisa Marie, thank you. Khaleesi, Goucher, Walani, Melissa Bueller, thank you. Julia Muse, Viola McGowan, Tammy Heitzman, Andrea McSherry, Marcia Derbyshire, Roxanne Dunlap, E. Beach, Amy Ferrer, thanks for being here. Jennifer Flaherty, thank you. Rebecca Mendez, Gladys Bleem, DDA Ohio, always a pleasure. Mark Jacob, Kimberly M., thank you. Princess Pie, have a good night. Thank you. Walani. I do too. And Walani, I appreciate... Walani is one of several of you that are in the streams that don't always take my point of view, and I'm totally okay with that. Don't think because I have a microphone that I'm trying to force my opinion on other people. I absolutely love the debate, and I entertain the debate, and I like the ideas. We don't always have to agree on it. There's many things in the show that we don't agree on. And that's certainly been the backbone of our channel for a long time. Crystal Singer Chick, thank you. Will the Bill, for the ladies, some flowers. Fellas, the fist bump, and beers. And Kills doesn't get his own separate. That's okay. June will not duel. Oh. It's the die. I got you. I thought you said duel. Beer at Nick and Norman's. She's gone. She's gone, Bill. Thanks to the moderators, Emmy, Steph, Tommy, Kels. You guys are awesome. Appreciate everything you guys do on Walking Dead Day. Izola, thank you, Izola. Appreciate you. Thank you, Rebecca Mendez. You have a good night as well. Right, Andrew McSherry? We are family. I got all my army with me. Sometimes we disagree. There's no need to be mean. There you go. Look, I just made you guys a song. All right, we're going to leave on that note. It's late. Thanks, everybody. I will see you tomorrow night for a little bit more of a recap, and then we'll do random things on Tuesday night. You guys have a good one. Peace.